Plastic bottles are everywhere. We use them every day. They hold our water, our drinks, our toiletries. It seems so convenient. But this convenience comes at a cost to our planet, a cost to ourselves. We produce millions of tons of plastic every year. Much of it ends up as waste. Plastic bottles are a major part of this problem. They take hundreds of years to decompose. The consequences are devastating. Our planet is choking on plastic. We need to act now. We need to find a better way. The journey of a plastic bottle begins with fossil fuels. These fuels are extracted from the earth. They are then refined and processed into tiny plastic pellets. These pellets are the building blocks of plastic bottles. The pellets are melted and molded into shape. They are then filled, capped, and shipped all over the world. We buy these bottles, use them briefly, and then discard them. And so the cycle continues. But the journey of a plastic bottle doesn't end there. It often ends up in landfills, where it will remain for centuries. Or it pollutes our environment, harming wildlife and ourselves. Not all plastic bottles meet a tragic end. Some are given a second life through recycling. This process begins with collection. We gather our plastic bottles and send them to recycling facilities.
At the facility, the bottles are sorted, cleaned, and shredded into flakes. These flakes are melted down and transformed. They become raw materials once more. We can use them to create new products. These include clothing, furniture, and even new plastic bottles. Recycling is a crucial step. It helps reduce plastic waste, but it's not a perfect solution. Not all plastic can be recycled, and the process itself requires energy and resources.
Many plastic bottles end up in landfills. These are vast areas where we bury our waste. Landfills might seem like a solution, but they are far from ideal. They are overflowing with our garbage. Plastic bottles take hundreds of years to decompose in landfills. As they break down, they release harmful chemicals. These chemicals can leach into the soil and groundwater. This contaminates our environment and poses risks to our health. Landfills are a stark reminder of our throwaway culture. They are a ticking time bomb of environmental pollution. We must find ways to reduce our reliance on them. Section 5. The toxic legacy. Plastic's impact on soil and water. Plastic doesn't simply disappear in landfills, it breaks down into smaller and smaller pieces, known as microplastics.
These microplastics infiltrate our environment, contaminating our soil and water. Microplastics act like sponges, absorbing toxins from their surroundings.
These toxins can then be ingested by plants and animals. This disrupts ecosystems and has cascading effects up the food chain.
Ultimately, these toxins can reach us, posing risks to human health. The presence of plastic in our soil reduces its fertility and ability to support life.
It disrupts the delicate balance of our ecosystems. We are polluting the very foundation of our food chain. Section 6. A plastic soup. The oceans suffocating. Our oceans are becoming increasingly polluted with plastic waste. Plastic bottles, bags, and other debris accumulate in massive garbage patches, forming a plastic soup that stretches for miles.
This plastic debris entangles marine animals, restricting their movement and causing injury or death. It also blocks sunlight from reaching marine plants, disrupting the delicate balance of marine ecosystems.
The consequences are dire for the health of our oceans and the creatures that depend on them. The plastic soup is a tragic symbol of our disregard for the natural world.
We are treating our oceans like a giant garbage dump. We must act now to clean up this mess and prevent further damage.
Section 7. Marine life in peril. Entangled, ingested, poisoned. Marine animals are particularly vulnerable to plastic pollution. They often mistake plastic debris for food, leading to starvation and internal injuries.
Sea turtles, for example, often mistake plastic bags for jellyfish, a staple of their diet. Once ingested, plastic can block the digestive tracts of marine animals, leading to starvation.
The chemicals in plastic can also leach into their bodies, disrupting their hormones and reproductive systems. This has devastating consequences for the survival of entire species.
We are witnessing a silent tragedy unfolding in our oceans. Countless marine animals are suffering and dying from plastic pollution. We must act now to protect these creatures and preserve the health of our oceans.
Section 8. The human cost health impacts of plastic pollution. The issue of plastic pollution is often discussed in terms of its environmental impact, but it is crucial to understand that it has severe implications for human health as well. The consequences of plastic pollution are not limited to the environment. They extend far beyond, infiltrating our daily lives in ways we might not even realize. They are also impacting human health. From the moment we wake up to the time we go to bed, we are surrounded by plastic products that can leach harmful chemicals.
We are exposed to plastic toxins through the food we eat, the water we drink, and the air we breathe. These toxins, such as BPA and phthalates, can enter our bodies and accumulate over time. These toxins can disrupt our hormones, leading to developmental problems and an increased risk of certain cancers. Research has shown that even low levels of exposure can have significant health effects. They can also weaken our immune systems, making us more susceptible to diseases. Children and pregnant women are particularly vulnerable to these harmful effects.
The full extent of the health impacts of plastic pollution is still being uncovered, but the evidence is clear. Plastic is a threat to human health. Studies are continually revealing new ways in which plastic affects our bodies. We are only beginning to understand the true cost of our reliance on plastic. The long-term health consequences could be far more severe than we currently comprehend. It is not just an environmental issue, it is a public health crisis. The pervasive nature of plastic pollution means that no one is immune to its effects. We must take action to protect ourselves and future generations from the harmful effects of plastic pollution. This includes reducing our plastic use, supporting policies that limit plastic production, and advocating for better waste management practices. Section 9. Economic and aesthetic impacts, a blight on our world. The economic and aesthetic impacts of plastic pollution are staggering. It affects not only the environment but also the quality of life for residents in these areas. Plastic debris litters our beaches, parks, and cities, detracting from their natural beauty and discouraging tourism. Tourists are less likely to visit places marred by plastic waste, leading to a decline in local businesses and economies. Cleaning up this mess costs taxpayers millions of dollars each year. Municipalities spend significant resources on cleanup efforts, diverting funds from other essential services.
The fishing industry is also impacted by plastic pollution. Fishermen face daily challenges as plastic waste disrupts their operations. Fishing nets and other gear can become entangled in debris, damaging equipment and harming marine life. This not only affects the catch but also the health of marine ecosystems. This leads to economic losses for fishermen and threatens the sustainability of our seafood supply. The long-term viability of the fishing industry is at risk if plastic pollution continues unchecked.
Plastic pollution is not just an eyesore, it has far-reaching consequences. It is a drain on our economy and a threat to our livelihoods. Communities dependent on tourism and fishing are particularly vulnerable. We must find ways to reduce our reliance on plastic and transition to more sustainable alternatives. By adopting eco-friendly products and practices, we can mitigate the damage and protect our environment for future generations. Section 10. Turning the tide solutions for a plastic-free future. In this chapter, we will explore various ways we can collectively work towards a world free from plastic pollution. The good news is that solutions exist, and they are within our reach. From individual actions to community efforts, every step counts. We can all make a difference in the fight against plastic pollution. By participating in local cleanups and adopting sustainable habits, we contribute to a healthier planet.
One important step is to reduce our consumption of single-use plastics. This means being mindful of the products we use daily and seeking alternatives. These include plastic bags, straws, and water bottles. These items are often used for just a few minutes but can persist in the environment for hundreds of years. Instead of using disposable plastic bottles, we can opt for reusable alternatives, such as stainless steel or glass bottles. These options are not only better for the environment but also more economical in the long run. We can also support businesses that are committed to reducing their plastic footprint. By choosing to shop at stores that prioritize sustainability, we encourage more companies to follow suit. By making conscious choices, we can send a powerful message to corporations that we demand change. Our purchasing power can drive significant shifts in the market towards more eco-friendly products.
Another crucial step is to improve our recycling habits. Proper recycling ensures that plastic waste is processed correctly and can be reused in new products. We need to ensure that we are properly sorting and disposing of our plastic waste so that it can be recycled and kept out of landfills and the environment. This means being aware of local recycling guidelines and participating in community recycling programs. Education and awareness are key. By educating ourselves and others about the impact of plastic pollution and the importance of recycling, we can foster a culture of sustainability. Together, through collective action and conscious choices, we can turn the tide and create a plastic-free future for generations to come. Section 11. Our collective responsibility, a call to action. The fight against plastic pollution is a collective effort. We all have a role to play in protecting our planet for future generations.
By making small changes in our daily lives, we can make a big difference. We can choose to reduce our plastic consumption, reuse plastic products whenever possible, and recycle properly.
We can also support organizations that are working to clean up our oceans and promote sustainable practices. The time to act is now. Let us work together to turn the tide on plastic pollution and create a healthier, more sustainable future for all.
Our planet depends on it, our children depend on it, the future depends on us.